Mr. Lee.
I have other questions, but it seems like it's peacekeeping day around here. So I wanted to ask you that the issue of the deaths caused by cholera in Haiti and accountability or recompense or compensation for that are somehow not addressed in any way in this reply. And I was here when Ramos Horta spoke about the issue. It seems like it's a big development in peacekeeping under the tenure of the Secretary General. What's his view of it? Does he not view it as part of the reform process?
I think on the specific issue of cholera in Haiti, I think our position is unchanged, and I would urge you to read the final report, and then we can talk about it.
And relatedly, I just, since I'm unclear, but if I'll be allowed to ask Mr. Ladsus this question, I want to ask you the question. While he was in CAR, it was reported that he spoke to the ambassadors of countries whose soldiers were charged with sexual abuse and exploitation. And so I tried to, I wanted to know whether he spoke with France specifically, given the interrelation between MINUSCA and Sangaris, and the statements made in this background briefing about human rights due diligence of the UN's partners.
I mean, I think the issue of sexual abuse has been raised between the UN and French officials at various levels of the Defense Ministry, and at the highest level. So I think they are very well aware of our position on the issue.
In Central Africa, some have been deployed since the times of the African Union, 18, 24 months. They have no opportunity to travel for rest and recreation because they don't get money. We do give the member states welfare money, but I'm not sure that in many cases the soldiers see the color of it. We are looking at ways and means to provide them, for relatively cheap R&R trips. But of course, again, it's difficult because Bangui is a very poorly served airport. There's 1 or 2 planes a day, and we have large constraints on our own air assets. But anyway, we're looking at it very closely, and we'll see what we can do. So I will not deflower the subject. To peacekeepers who are spending months on end in very, very difficult conditions, be it Kagabandoro, be it Bambari, be it Bria. I've gone to both since the last year. I mean, comfort is rudimentary. And of course, there is no, how should I say, distraction. No possibility to do anything to get your mind, off those very difficult living conditions. Again, it's not an excuse, but I think we owe it to our people to afford them, the possibility of, as I said, a better welfare, and try and see whether we can charter planes, to just give them some fresh air by going elsewhere. Some countries do it, especially countries from South Asia. They actually send national flights every few weeks, to rotate their peacekeepers for a week or 2. But of course, in the case of poorer countries, it doesn't really happen. So we have to try and step in to compensate for that.
What about the French Sangaris rapes?
Oleg, go ahead.
Your role in the UNDT filing.
Oleg, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Ladsus. You described the situation in which peacekeepers are working in CAR, which harsh conditions.
Those incidents, if there are any other ones, as they come.
What do you mean? Firing the whistleblower, Anders Compass. What was your role in Mr. Compass? It's listed in the UNDT filings. It should be answered.
One question, please.
Shouldn't you answer that? No, it's